on. It's taking a while for some reason. It's not. We're not streaming. Oh yes, we are. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It does look like civil war has arrived in the United Kingdom. One chance. That was all we was asking. A little bit of respect, a little bit of dignity. Did they do it? Absolutely not. As the time of making this video, 442 arrests so far. Now, guys, look. Let's just put this into context. Couple of weeks ago, there was a right-wing, far-right march against the government. Over 1 million people turned up. There were 8 arrests. 8. And those guys are douchebags. Each and every one of those are douchebags. You guys let the team down. You let the side down. You've got to hold yourself to higher standards. But let's just contextualize this. Look, guys, I don't need to do the maths. I don't need you to do the maths for you guys. Okay, 1 million people, 8 people get arrested. 1,500 people, which is what the number I'm told is the official number that turned up today in London, and 442 arrests so far. Will we hear from Keir Starmer? Will Sadiq Khan come out and call, oh, I feel intimidated. Ladies and gentlemen, tell me another way that you can describe this. Civil war has hit the streets of the United Kingdom, and it's right here now. That's what we're going to be talking about today, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking about the Palestinian action protest, latest in London, Manchester. I told you guys nothing was going to happen in Manchester because the weather is quite funny, actually. You know, these guys, you know, they're pro-Palestine. I am strong military commander. I will come and destroy British capitalist pig. I destroy capitalist pig with one hand. Yeah, it's raining. I will wait till another day to destroy capitalist pig. I don't have suitable raincoat. You know, so this is what's happening, guys. I said earlier on in the live stream that earlier on in this morning's live stream, what we were talking about is I said, listen, guys, let's see what happens later on today. Let's see what happens. Oh, somebody's saying morning. Sean McKay, it's not morning. It's not morning, Sean McKay. I'll pin that. Do you know what, guys? Maybe it's morning somewhere. So we are talking today, ladies and gentlemen, about the absolute disrespect, horrific, undemocratic, ridiculous scenes we have had in the United Kingdom today. Guys, there's so much information right now and so many what's the word I'm looking for? So many facets here. It's unbelievable. So I'm going to go with an article here from not Sky News. What's this from? The Independent, right? So look, guys, I believe this. Let me refresh it, actually. I believe this number will rise. So as at the time of making this live stream, Palestinian action protest latest. Met Police, and remember, they are massive liberals, so they don't really want to arrest people, make 442 arrests so far after demonstrators defy calls to cancel. So, you know, earlier on when we was on the live stream, we was talking about this and we said, listen, what's going to happen later on today? And we was like, well, I don't really know. Maybe this is going to happen. Maybe that's going to happen. It was kind of obvious what was going to happen. I wasn't confident that these guys were going to be peaceful. I wasn't confident that these guys were going to show respect. Turns out, respect may not be a word directly translated into some languages. So I'll start with this article, guys, and then I'll come on to the, in fact, hang on. I'm going to get this comment here, guys. It's from Donna Hogan on YouTube. Donna Hogan on YouTube is a YouTuber. Donna Hogan on YouTube is saying, I saw one guy who streams on YouTube. He approached the guy in the protest and he tried calling citizens of England out for racism and that we should be supporting them. So all this thing, guys, like right now, look, guys, before we go on, I just want to, hang on. Give me a second, guys. Before we go on, I just want to conceptualize this. Let me just be clear. Communication is key. If communication breaks down, if people don't talk, If people are angry and don't listen to other people's opinions, that's when the conflict happens. That's when the carnage happens. And I keep saying this. You know the meme where there's a cylinder, and there's two lights shining on the cylinder, and the shadow of one cylinder to the other. One of the guys is saying it's a square, and he's right. The other guy's saying no, it's a circle, and he's right. That's where we are right now. This is like left, right. Ultimately, people need to talk. People need to talk, but unfortunately, for some reason, people are unable to talk. And, you know, I've said this quite a few times. I've been relatively successful in my career because I've always been able to keep those lines of conversation open. And when that conversation breaks down and people don't want to listen, that's when you get actions like what have happened today in the United Kingdom, in London. I said it wasn't going to happen in Manchester. It's not. 442 arrests. Guys, look, just before I continue with this article, 442 arrests. That's almost, well, that's 30. That's almost 30. Well, it's over 30%. 30% of people, guys, I'm going with official figures here, okay? 30% of the people that turned up to this protest in London have been arrested. 30%. Can you imagine if this was a anti-digital ID protest? Protests would be banned, guys. Protests would be banned. You've got to understand why, you know, you've got to look at the deeper meaning of this. Why? I mean, do you think Sadiq Khan's going to come out and say, I condemn these protests, they made me feel uncomfortable? Do you think Keir Starmer is going to come out and he's going to say, these protests were disgusting? Ladies and gentlemen, we had a protest a couple of weeks ago. Over 1 million people turned up. There were 8 arrests. You guys don't need to do that. You guys don't need me to do the maths on my. I don't even have my phone on me. You guys don't need me to do the maths. The proportion of 8 out of 1 million, or 442 so far, from the Palestine action protest that was today. And as I understand it, official figures were saying that there were 1,500 people turned up. Let me go down, guys. I'm just going to read this and then I'm going to jump over to TikTok, guys. Give me a second. Police say 442 people have been arrested at a rally in London held in support of Palestine action. The demonstrations took place despite calls for Keir Starmer and police chiefs to cancel. Straight away, guys, you can't pander to these people. Guys, am I streaming on TikTok? Am I streaming on TikTok, guys? Guys, my TikTok just jumped off then. Am I still streaming? I was getting really passionate about that as well. Right, okay. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, for some reason, the TikTok's not giving me it's not giving me the bandwidth that I feel I deserve. Listen, guys, we're triple streaming this evening. We are on TikTok, we're on YouTube, and we are on X. Can you do me a favor, guys? Listen, if the TikTok goes down, can you jump over to YouTube? Because we are triple streaming. We're on YouTube, TikTok, and X. Like I said, guys, if the TikTok goes down, the YouTube seems fine at the moment. So does X. So we are triple streaming, guys, simultaneously with the powers of the internet. We're streaming on YouTube, TikTok, and X. So if the TikTok chat goes silent, we will be over on YouTube. In fact, hang on, let me get this comment here on YouTube. Give me a second, guys. So just a quick comment here, guys, from oh, hang on, John. Sorry, guys, 2 comments from YouTube actually. Emma Green is saying, I prefer GB News usually, but on Sky News, it was also showing how bad things were in London. Ladies and gentlemen, guys, look, if you live in the United Kingdom right now, is there any other way to describe that civil war has erupted? I don't know any other words to say what's happening right now in the United Kingdom other than civil war has erupted on the streets of the United Kingdom. And you think things are going to get better? No way, Bob. Things are going to get worse. Hang on. Endeavour to Preserve is saying live debate is alive and well here in the United States. Listen, guys, we welcome all our American friends, all our American cousins from across the water. We are in dire need right now. Listen, guys, if you're from the United States, if you're from anywhere else apart from the United Kingdom, you guys need to understand how bad things are here in the United Kingdom, guys. It's unbelievable. Every day there's every day, guys. Literally, do you know what? I'm not even going to say every day. Every 12 hours there's a new catastrophe. Every 12 hours there's a certain demographic doing something. Every 12 hours, guys, something's going crazy. Right, I'm going to jump up. Right, guys, listen. Oh, so the signal's bad everywhere. Guys, how bad is the signal on YouTube? Hang on. So over on TikTok, Sean McKay is saying, did you see the Rotherham mayor make her speech? Not a single white native in the crowd. Yeah, it's phenomenal, isn't it? Look, guys, as far as I'm concerned, if you have dual nationalities, like, look, guys, this is just me. Let me know what you think. If you have dual nationalities, like, I don't know, if you're British Canadian, if you're French British, if you're British Pakistani British, if you're British Somalian, you should not be allowed into politics. No way, Bob. Should just not be a thing. Why? Because there is a clear conflict of interest. Which one are you serving? Are you serving France or Britain? Are you serving Canada or are you serving Britain? Are you serving Pakistan or are you serving Britain? You know, those things shouldn't happen. And guys, I'm going to throw another one out here. You may not, do you know what? I don't even care if you like this or not. Women should not be allowed in politics. Women shouldn't be allowed in politics, guys. You know, it's just, it's absurd. Look at, and I'm not saying, this is not an anti-woman thing. You know, this is not Raven going on a sexist rant. This is not me going on like, you know, saying, oh, but women should just be in the kitchen. There are roles for men and women in society. Look, guys, we are heading towards a global conflict on an industrial scale. Right now in the United Kingdom, we have a foreign secretary called, what's her name? I can't even remember what her name is. Yvette Cooper, who's a woman. All right. She's a woman. She's a woman. She is going to have to go and make deals with political operators like Sergei Lavrov. Do you think he's even going to give her time of day? Do you think he's going to listen to her? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He's not going to listen to her. She's going to go out there with all her bells and whistles. Oh, I'm representing the United Kingdom. Nobody cares, Yvette. You're a tiny woman. I don't mean that derogatively. I don't. You guys know what I'm thinking of. I'm saying that when she goes to these political meetings and there are international people there, they won't listen to her. I promise you guys. I've been to those meetings. I used to sit on them. I used to sit there, and then when one of the politicians was about to speak, I'd say, whisper in their ear and tell them like to shut the fuck up. Honestly, guys, right now in the United Kingdom, can anybody guys, listen, I want argument. I want somebody with a diverse opinion, guys, okay? Can somebody tell me that the United Kingdom right now is not in a civil war? I don't think anyone can, guys. Ash is saying, hang on. Sorry, guys. So Martin Quinn is saying she cannot speak English. I think he's talking about the mayor of Rotherham. She can speak English, although it's not her strongest. It's not her strongest. It's not her strongest spot. Guys, TikTok today. The TikTok is being so glitchy today, guys. I can't even scroll up and down and get these messages. Guys, I'm really struggling with TikTok at the moment. I can't scroll up and down and get the messages. Right, let me jump over to YouTube and get these messages over there. Comment, sorry. George Galloway Rider, sorry, George, I was going to say George Galloway. Galloway Rider is saying, breaking news, wildfire ravages Antarctic Peninsula. What's there to burn in Antarctica? Really? Hang on a minute. Let me get this. This doesn't make any sense. You know I'm all about Antarctica, guys. Big up one time. Hear me out, fam. I'm all about Antarctica, bro. Antarctica wildfire. I can't find anything there. Breaking news. What I can't. Oh, I can't find anything about a fire in Antarctica. I don't know where that's coming from. Emma Green is saying, oh my God, what? She can hardly speak English. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, listen, guys, if you're international, if you're watching from another country, guys, listen, just real quick. I know the TikTok is really bad. With triple streaming, the YouTube seems to be a lot better. So does the X. If you want to, if things are so bad on TikTok, jump over to YouTube, guys. We are triple streaming. We're on YouTube, X, and TikTok. I'm going to continue the live stream, even if I only have one viewer, because that's how I roll, ladies and gentlemen. I will be here every day at 10 and 8. So Emma Green is saying, oh my God, what? She can hardly speak English. No, and that's the reality of the situation, guys. Here in the United Kingdom, we have people in charge. Here in England, the language of medicine, the language of international trade, the language of aviation. Do we need any other language? The language of militaries. Here in England, we have a leadership cadre. It's not right. The cadre is military. We have a ruling class who do not speak English. That's the reality, guys. Right now, that is the reality. If you live in the United Kingdom, our leaders, a lot of them, don't speak England too good. But listen, guys, that doesn't mean they're bad people. That doesn't mean they're bad people. Halo Rose 85 is saying, do you collect art or something? Your design is pretty. I don't know what that means, Halo Rose. I don't know what that means, but listen, whatever it means, I'm up for it. David Roke is saying the Russian army launched a massive military deployment to the Georgian border. So look, guys, the crux of this live stream, I do want to focus on what's happening in the United Kingdom right now, because it is wild. Like, I don't know how anyone can say right now that the United Kingdom is not in civil war. I really don't, guys. Today, there's been 442 arrests from a pro-Palestine march that the government asked. Keir Starmer asked if they could, the government asked if they could, oh, will you please cancel it? 442 arrests, guys. That's almost 30%. In fact, it's over 30%. Now, I will talk about this. So, David O'Rourke is saying the Russian army has launched a massive military deployment to the Georgian border. I think the main, like, the Russians have just, the Russians have just put out a call, and they want 135,000 conscripts. Now, put that into context, ladies and gentlemen. The British Army is, as of the 1st of January, was just under 74,000. You see how those numbers don't add up? That's not the Russian military, 135,000. That's their little, they need like a little, they're about to go on a little side quest, so they need a few more blokes. So they're just going to call up 135,000 extra soldiers. Do we think we could do that here in the West? You know, if we wanted to here in the West, do you think we could call up 10,000? 10,000? Do you think we could mobilize and get 10,000 extra people in the ranks? I would say we would struggle. So don't forget, for every one person, you need at least one pair of boots, one weapon, some food, some magazines. The logistics are the logistics and the logistics are unbelievable, guys. Think how much food you need to feed 135,000 people. The logistics behind this are phenomenal, guys. And when people are talking to me about, but Britain's got this technology, I'm like, it doesn't matter. None of that stuff's going to matter. Templar Matt on YouTube is saying, what's our next move considering the government haven't listened to 3 million of us with this petition? Okay, so, oh God, yeah. So, right, I should have done a video on this actually. So there was a petition. Templar Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, but are you talking about the digital ID? Go on. Petition. Sorry, I forgot the word. So there was I don't know if you guys know this or not. This is quite funny. If you don't think, guys, listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you think you are living in any sort of society where you have control, I'm going to give you a few facts here. There was a petition released a couple of weeks ago. And that petition was to, basically, the petition said, we don't want digital ID. We want to take any action necessary to stop digital ID. And the government are obliged to respond. That got almost 3 million signatures. It wasn't, Templar Matt is saying it got 3 million, but I think it was just less. I mean, it may have got more now, I don't know. Certainly by the time they responded. So 3 million, come on, we'll go with 3 million. Almost 3 million. Almost 3 million people responded to this petition. Do you know what the government did? They responded and they said the government will do digital ID as per the legal norms of the country, or some bullshit answer. So do you think that you actually have a say? So right now, the whole of the country wants to go one direction. Maybe 10, 15 people in government are like, no, we're going this direction. So Templar Matt is 100% right. What's our next move? Get out now. Get out now is my advice, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, my advice to anybody. If you live in the United Kingdom now, get out now. There's nothing you can do. I don't see, and I don't want to be defeatist here. I don't want to be a defeatist. I want to be a realist. So again, another thing they tell you in the military is, if you're fighting a battle and you don't think you can win, admit defeat early, get your guys, and look for a different way to attack. That's not to say that you should always fight through in death or glory. But I don't see that death and glory, guys, because people in the United Kingdom really have shackled them. We have shackled ourselves to our own demise. Yeah, I wrote that down yesterday, guys. You guys who were watching yesterday, I wrote it down yesterday. It was something I said, and I thought, wow, that is profound, Raven. Yeah, we really have shackled ourselves to our own demise in the United Kingdom. What do I mean by that? I actually saw an article about this on the news. We are being taxed. I saw an article about this on the news. We're being taxed into submission, and people don't see this because it's happening slowly. Because it's happening so slow, people are like, "Oh, right. Well, we'll just make those cuts. We'll just make those cuts. We'll just make those cuts." And before you know it, you have literally shackled yourself to your own demise, and you're paying for this. Here's a question, ladies and gentlemen, right? I'm going to ask you right there. Can you put this in the chat? Do you worry about the cost of food? Do you struggle to put food on the table for your kids? Do you struggle with the cost of living day by day? Do you struggle with putting fuel in your car? Do you struggle with your gas, electric, water bill? If the answer is yes, you're among them. You're in the majority. The majority. Do you know where your tax money is going? Your tax money is going to people who've come to this country, never paid a penny into. I mean, I saw a video the other day, guys, and I don't want to go down I don't want to go down this road, but I think I saw a video today on X. This hotel, all this fresh food arriving, fresh tomatoes, fresh vegetables. Oh, it was beautiful. Only the best for those migrants, guys. Only the best. While you are struggling to feed your kids. That's the reality, guys. I'm sorry. That's the reality. Sorry, guys. I went off on a side quest there. So Templar Matt is saying, what's our next move? Get out now. I honestly don't see the direction of travel. Yes, we can say, oh, we're going to stand up. We're going to rise. The British spirit is going to rise. It's been broken, guys. It's been broken. I struggle to see where it's going. There may be some mass unity moment, but right now I'm not seeing what it is. I don't see what it is, guys. I don't want to be negative. I live in the United Kingdom. We live in the United Kingdom, We're lucky. Like right now, me and Sarah can go, we can take the kids, we can literally get on a flight and 2 trains, and we can be in another house in another country. A lot of people are seeing this as a slow stranglehold, a very slow stranglehold coming, guys, okay? Right, let me just do TikTok a second, guys. There's quite a few comments on TikTok here that I need to get through. Linda Lou is saying they responded, but not been debated until November, but they will still bring it out. She's talking about the digital ID, guys. It's coming. It's here. Be under no illusion. Digital ID light will come. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Digital identification will hit the streets of the United Kingdom. It's here, guys. We can't. It's going to be this is what's going to happen. So you've got to understand how this game has been. Do you play chess? Do you play chess? I play a lot of chess. I'm on. Do you know what? I don't know. No, I have got my phone. Let me see what level I'm on. I'm going to get my phone now. I'm going to show you guys what level I'm on chess. Give me a sec. Where is it? There we are. Chess Club. Just loading. You'll see where I'm going in a sec, guys. You'll see where I'm going. We will go that one. So I don't know if you guys can see that. I know it's. I am on Grandmaster on chess. That's how I roll, guys. I'm a grandmaster on chess. You know, it's very difficult to get up to that, and I know where we're going with that, guys. But like grandmaster is quite a big thing when you're playing chess. It's hard playing against AI. AI, like it's very difficult to beat AI at chess. I'm on grandmaster, guys. Okay, so I'm talking. So what I'm talking about here is you've got to set. This is why I'm talking about it. You've got to set your pieces up before you strike. You've got to set those little pieces in motion that, you know, oh, why is he doing that? Why is that happening? Why is this law being passed? Why is that direction of travel happening? And then all of a sudden, a bishop goes a massive long diagonal, and then your knight is like, oh shit, I'm fucked. Raven just fucked me. Yeah, I didn't think Raven knew what it was doing. All this bullshit was happening. Now I've just been fucked by a bishop. And I'm sure a lot of people in the United Kingdom may or may not be able to say that. So you've got to understand the United Kingdom right now has been a chessboard. And when we're talking about digital ID, the first phase, well, maybe not the first phase, but one of the most recent phases of digital implementation of digital ID was destroy small businesses, make people unemployed. Right, done. Bring in international investment. They don't really care about what's happening in the UK. They just want to make money. Done. And then all you need to say, now everybody's fighting for jobs for these international investors, international companies, Starbucks, McDonald's, Nando's, Subway, international investment that's in the United Kingdom. I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, those companies will ensure their staff take digital ID. And do you know what's going to happen if they don't take digital ID? TikTok takoi davai do svidania. That means fuck off in Russian. So they're going to be gone. And you know why they're going to be gone? Because there's going to be thousands of people trying to take those jobs. Thousands of people all over the United Kingdom, guys, trying to take those jobs. So those companies are going to continue to flourish. People are going to be spending. And that's how they're going to bring it on, guys. It's going to start as a digital ID light. Anyway, sorry, guys. I went on a side quest again. April Lee is saying, where do we go? Antarctica, ladies and gentlemen. I've said it so many times. Googly is saying, nobody leave. We are not defeated. The British people can outnumber everyone. I agree, Googly, but let me pin this. I agree. Then the British people do outnumber everyone. But what about the British people who are willing to lose their jobs? Now, that's a different metric. So Sean McKay is saying the only way out of digital ID is to be self-sufficient and make your own income. Yeah. But can you look, guys? Look, ladies and gentlemen, the crux of this live stream, and I will come back on track in a minute, is civil wars erupted on the streets of the United Kingdom. We're talking about the pro-Palestine march today. 442 arrests so far. Will there be condemnation from Keir Starmer? Will there be condemnation from Sadiq Khan? Will there be people coming out there and making this analogy of 1 million people march 30th of September, 8 arrests. 1,500 march, 442 arrests. Which one of those is the... It's unbelievable, guys. It's unbelievable. But sorry, Sean McKay is saying the only way out is to become self-sufficient and make your own money. Did you notice how the government made it very difficult for self-employed, private landlords? And by private landlords, I don't mean big international companies. I mean, like, you know, if you and your, I don't know, if you meet a woman or a man or somebody who doesn't identify as man or a lampshade person, and the lampshade person has their own place and you have your own place and you decide to move in together, and you're like, well, we don't really need to sell that place, we're going to rent it out. That's what the government made it very difficult to do. Paul Poops, hang on. Paul Poops is saying, just real quick, guys, and I'll jump onto the YouTube. Paul Poops is saying, oh, no, not that one. Not that one. Was it Paul Poops? Oh, there he is. Look, sorry. There he is. Paul Poops said, my gas and electric bill for last month was £70. That sounds ridiculously low. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm not going to get into this, but I do know that people in the United Kingdom spend them like we are absolutely fleeced here in the United Kingdom for our, for electricity. Gareth Thomas on YouTube is saying a great insight. Did I miss your last comment? Right. Gareth Thomas is saying a great insight into how things will become George Orwell 1984. That was written in the 50s. So in George Orwell's 1984, you could argue that this digital ID would be the you could argue that this digital ID would be like the what's it called? Somebody help me out here. What's the television thing called? There's a name for it, the television. Anyway, I don't know. Basically, in George Orwell's 1984, every television's got a camera on it and somebody's listening. And that does really seem like digital ID to me, guys. I mean, we've all got these on us, haven't we? We've all got these on us. I'm normally playing chess, Grandmaster. Would you expect anything less than Grandmaster, guys? Like, really, would you? Would you expect me to be playing anything less than a Grandmaster? So we've got these phones on us. We already know our phones listen to what we're saying. I was talking about Scotland actually the other day when I was at work. I was talking about Scotland. Who was talking about, is it called the NFC? It's like it's like something 500 where you drive around the north coast of Scotland. It's like the north. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a northern route around. So I was talking about that. And then all of a sudden on my phone, I got advertisements for like hotels on that route. And I was like, yeah, of course you're not listening. So we know our phones are already listening to us. But that information, once we're part of this digital ID infrastructure, that information is going to be fed into some centralized database. And they're going to be like, Raven wants to do the... You see where I'm going with this, guys? All that information is going to be correlated. Claire Price is saying, what if Reform are just saying that so we vote them in like Labour and they're not going to... Yeah, okay, look, guys, when we talk about Reform, so Claire, I'm talking directly to you now, Claire, and anybody else, you know what I'm talking to? I'm talking to you all, but you know, I'll go with Claire. I'm talking to Claire Price here. I don't know if you know or not, I've not hidden it. In the last election, I was standing as a candidate for Reform. I resigned from Reform the same day that Nigel Farage announced he was going to be he was standing. And I was sat there with Sarah, and I think we stood in the kitchen. And I was like, I don't know what to do now. I was like, I genuinely don't know what to do because Nigel Farage is now there and he's a big hitter. But I'd already made my decision to resign, and we thought, right, okay, you've made your mind up. We was like, right, what would you say to the girls? And we was like, right, okay. So I resigned. I've never publicly said the reasons why I resigned, but Ben Heavy, Rupert Lowe, similar circumstances. And before I go on to this, guys, I've met Nigel. I've always said this. He came across as a very intelligent guy, very articulate, and I liked him. He's sent to be a good guy, and I've got no reason to believe otherwise. I don't believe he's in touch with the Russians or anything. So I just thought I'd have to qualify my next statement. So Claire Price is here is saying on YouTube, she's saying, what if Reform are just saying that so we vote them in like Labour? We're not going to raise taxes for the workers, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. So we do run that risk. I don't think it's the party. I think it's when they get in charge, when they get their seats. I don't know if this happens. This would be like hypothetical. Maybe a man in a black suit comes round and he says, listen, now you're elected. You said what you needed to say before you was elected. Now this is how you roll. It's the people behind the scenes, guys, and all these donors and these people who are donating fantastic amounts of money. They're the real people that are in charge, guys. We don't have democracy. We have late stage democracy. Like we have late stage capitalism, we have late stage democracy, and these things are intertwined so deeply, whereby every politician and political leader have donors, and it's those donors who make the decisions. So the political scenario in the United Kingdom is like, it's like changing the wheels on a broken. If you've got an engine warning light on your car, would you go in and change the wheels and expect your engine warning light to come off? I don't think you would, guys. I don't think you would. Right. Endeavour to Preserve here is saying that the British pound is going down. I can remember when the British pound was 1.6. No, it was 1.7 actually. When I used to get paid in US dollars, the British pound to the British dollar was 1.7. Right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, can I ask you a real quick favor? Can you guys like, comment, subscribe, bell notification, do those things that help this channel out? If you're watching on TikTok, the buttons are up there somewhere. If you're watching on YouTube, the buttons are down there somewhere. And if you're watching on X, I do appreciate, I don't post as much as I should on X, but the buttons are up there, guys. Can you do that? Because it really helps me out when you do that, guys, okay? Especially when you share my stuff. When you share my stuff, guys, it really helps in the algorithm to push things forwards. Oh, hang on a minute. What? Hang on a minute. Right Cheer here is saying the eye slams are going to win without firing a shot. The eye slams. What's an eye slam? Oh, is right. Okay, dude. Right, Cheer. Just say it. Right. I don't know these new. Listen, guys. I'm not down with the kids. I'll be the first one to admit I'm not down with the kids. I had to Google what cottaging was the other day, and I was like, oh, God, I wish I hadn't. So, guys, look, just if you guys can just put it out there and let me know how you're rolling. Oh, Slim, thank you for the gift. Slim, thank you for the gift. Slim just sent a gift. Thank you so much, Slim. And thank you so much for sending a gift, Slim. I really do appreciate it. Right, listen, guys. I'm gonna come back onto I've just been on a massive side quest, and I'm conscious of the time. All right, so let me come back onto this. Do you know what? Actually, I'm gonna upload what's happening. Let me just do a quick Google search. Right, I'm just looking here, guys. Right, live updates. Yeah, 442 arrests. Right, I'm gonna jump over to X, see what what's going on in X. Right, let me see if I can share any of these videos with you guys. Right, latest. Wow. Wow. Live clashes between Palestinian protests outside Whitehall. Clashes outside Whitehall. 442 arrests. If only the Home Secretary, Shabin Mahmood, had the power to stop this. Oh, wait. Guys, look, I don't know what other words to describe this. Right now in the United Kingdom, can anybody articulate that we are not in a civil war? Not only are we in a civil war, but it's like we're in a civil war and we're also paying the enemy. That's what it feels like to me, guys. Let me know in the chat, guys. Am I right or am I wrong? It feels like we are in a civil war. We are paying the enemy. Can you imagine the American Civil War where like the British are out there and the British are funding like the British are those British are still funding the Yankees. You know, can you imagine a scenario where you're in a war with another, forget everything I've just said. Imagine this is a scenario. It's totally different, guys, not related. Imagine now you're in a war with another country and they're throwing bombs and they're doing attacks and they're fighting and you're funding them. Do you not think, like, at some point you would think, hang on a minute, right, Kia? Yes, mate. I'm just looking at these returns here, mate. And, like, we've got a load of money going to these people, but, like, they're also attacking us. Why are we sending them money? Like, where does that conversation lead? You know, where does that conversation lead? I don't know. It just seems insane, guys. It really does. If you live in the United Kingdom, guys, you know, right now, it does look like the streets of the United Kingdom have erupted into civil war. Right. Sorry, guys. Let me get onto this article again. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining for the first time, the breaking news of the day, Palestinian action protest latest. Met Police arrest 442 people so far as demonstrators defy calls to cancel. So people were saying that, you know, the government was saying, people were coming out and saying, listen, you know, we don't really need this protest. It's a little bit disrespectful after the attack that just went to the synagogue in Manchester. Turns out the Palestinian Action Group said, no, we're not going to cancel and we are going to have a right good tear up. 442 arrests so far as demonstrators defy calls to cancel. Met Police said there was a separate protest group that gathered in Whitehall, blocking the road before trying to march first towards Trafalgar Square, then Parliament. Meanwhile, around 100 pro-Palestine supporters gathered in Manchester city centre for a march organised by Greater Manchester Friends of Palestine. What did I say earlier on the live stream? Ladies and gentlemen, if you was on the live stream earlier on and I said, it's quite funny how pathetic these people are. I will destroy capitalist pig. We will go on streets and show them in numbers. We will show this capitalist pig in numbers outnumbered that we can destroy all capitalist pig and live in socialist utopia. Yeah, it's going to be raining and really windy. We will wait to destroy capital pig for another day when it is better weather. Then we will destroy capitalist pig with furious fury from socialist people like Lenin. So, you know, 100 people are allegedly, around 100 people turned up in Manchester. I said that would happen, guys. You know, I said it was going to happen in... I said if it's going to happen, it's going to happen in London, and it did. Scotland Yard Chief Sir Mike, guys, listen, I'm going to have to run to the toilet in a minute. I am absolutely bursting for a wee. Scotland Yard Chief Sir Mark Rowley had asked for the will you please be good? Will you please be good? And I'll give... It doesn't work, ladies and gentlemen. Pandering to people doesn't work. Scotland Yard said, Scotland Yard Chief Mark Rowley had asked for protests to be postponed due to a drain on resources while extra officers are stationed at synagogues and mosques. as Prime Minister Keir Starmer urged groups behind the events to respect the grief of British Jews. Ladies and gentlemen, do we think right now that British Jews have been respected? With this protest, I would say 442 arrests would mean absolutely not. Absolutely not, guys. Absolutely not. Right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to run to the toilet. Can you guys just like hold there for 2 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, less than a minute? I'll be back less than a minute, guys. I really need the toilet. Can you guys just wait there? Click the screen, comment, like, subscribe, bell notification, all those things, guys. I'm absolutely bursting. Wait there. I'll be right back. And I am indeed back, ladies and gentlemen. Should I start calling myself Raven the Grandmaster because that's what level at chess I'm on? I don't know. I think some people may call me Raven Grandmaster anyway. But listen, guys, the breaking news of the day is that Palestine Action Group, Palestinian protest in London, 442 arrests. Conceptualize that with the right protest that was in London last month on the 30th of September, 8 arrests. It's unbelievable, guys. Absolutely unbelievable. Right, let me jump over here, guys. Right, guys, the YouTube chat is going absolutely crackers right now, guys. It's going crazy. You guys are fantastic. Guys, listen, I love all you guys chatting. I'm not going to give favorites. I'm going to get the chat here on TikTok. I am then going to jump over to YouTube, guys, okay? And we'll continue this live stream. I am 100% on YouTube going to get myself a glass of Ravens Reserve Red. That's what I'm calling it, guys. I'm going to get myself a glass of Ravens Reserve Red as soon as we close the live stream down on TikTok. Right, let me jump over here, guys. Sean McKay is saying, hope Trump is a subscriber. He may jump over and sort this out. Listen, guys, I know for a fact Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and who's the other one? Somebody else is following me, guys. They are. They're all following me. Like, you know, when I say things and then it comes out on the mainstream media, it's all good. It's all fine. Do you know what, guys? I don't pity them. I pity that they don't have their own ideas. Listen, how long before somebody else starts talking and saying, listen, guys, how long before somebody says, before Nigel Farage jumps out, before Elon Musk jumps out and says, the people of Britain have shackled themselves to their own demise. I said that first. That's a Raven quote, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I need to get T-shirts. I can do T-shirts while we're streaming, can't I? Right, guys. I'm just going to jump down to the bottom of the TikTok comments. Stu Hatch is saying, yeah, exactly. Stu Hatch, look, listen. Stu Hatch is saying, where is Starmer condemning the arrests today? Guys, it's unbelievable. I don't even know how to say this. There was a march in London, United Kingdom, on the 13th of September. Over 1 million people turned up, and there were 8 arrests. There was Thamania arrests. All right, Thamania arrests. 8 out of 1 million. In London, official figures, I don't know how many actual people turned up, but the initial estimates for people turning up in London was 1,500. And there have been 448 arrests. Does the maths add up to you guys? Of those two, which one do you think's the most violent? Which one do you think wants peace? Which one do you think wants their way or no way? Of one of those two, which one of those people do you think's, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Tolerant. You guys know I hate that word tolerant. I hate that word tolerant, guys. Honestly, I'm sick of being tolerant. But yeah, I agree 100% with Stu Hatch. Where is Keir Starmer? I don't know. Has anyone seen? I can't say that, guys. I got a live stream ban. Linda Lou is saying, hang on, let me pin this. Sorry, guys. Linda Lou is saying, I saw a right go over to the left and asked if they would take part in a minute's silence. They said no. How disrespectful is that, guys? How disrespectful is that? I don't think, first of all, guys, all wars are ridiculous. We need to stop wars. We need to concentrate on space travel. Western culture, Western European culture needs to be Western European culture. African culture needs to be African culture. Middle Eastern culture needs to be Middle Eastern culture. South American, we all need our place in the world. Right now, we don't have it, and that's where the problems start. Where did that go? Google it is saying, I actually went to Leeds today and people had a standout reading in the names of Palestine. I don't know what that means, Google it. People had a standout reading. The names of Palestinian. I don't know what that means, Google it. I've pinned it. I don't understand what that means. Martin Quinn is saying they forgot to put most of the police around the migrant hotels as well. Oh, so Martin Quinn, are you saying? I don't know if it's true, guys. I'm just reading a comment here. Martin Quinn is saying that. Oh, right. No, sorry, guys, I misread that. Martin Quinn is saying they forgot. Right, okay. I think Martin Quinn's being facetious, which is fine, ladies and gentlemen. I don't mind facetious. If you're on the chat, ladies and gentlemen, and you're going to jump over to YouTube in a minute, less than 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen, less than 1 minute, we're going to be jumping over to YouTube. I'm going to be having. Do you know what? I said I was going to have a glass of Raven's Special Reserve Red. I may even have a carbonated drink. Do you know what, guys? I may double up. I may do 2 glasses. But Martin Quinn is saying they forgot to put most of the police around the migrant hotels as well. Yeah, it does seem like right now the police are spending a lot of time in protecting people who are attacking us. So let's contextualize this even more, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine fighting a war. I can't. I'm done. Right. What? Forget everything I've said previously, ladies and gentlemen. This is a new thread. All right. What I'm going to say is a new thread. It may or may not have relevance to what's happening in the United Kingdom today. Imagine fighting a war, right? Imagine the war in Iraq. Imagine the coalition going to the war in Iraq. In fact, you know what? Forget that. Imagine the Second World War. I don't want to get the life. I don't even care. Let's imagine, forget that. Let's imagine a war, right? We're having a war, a good old-fashioned war, you know, a good old 1942 war. And somebody phones you up and they're like, Keir? He's like, yeah. He's like, why are we sending all our money to the bad guys? He's like, well, we need to fund them. I was like, all right, okay, no worries. Put the phone down. And they're like, somebody phones you up and says, Keir, yes, why is all our military protecting the bad guys? Oh, well, they're in danger while they're asleep. And you're like, what? You're like, yeah, but they might wake up and get, you see, it's just absurd, isn't it, guys? It's absurd. And we are paying for this with our tax money. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be closing you down on TikTok now. I'm going to close you guys down on TikTok. Unfortunately, I'm going to be over on YouTube. I'm the Real Raven 1 on YouTube. I'm the Real Raven 1 on X. I'm going to continue this live stream. I don't know how long this is going to go, guys. I think it's going to go a while. I don't know. But if you guys want to jump over, I will be over there now, guys. I'm going to get a glass of Raven's Reserve. I'm going to be over on YouTube for a little bit, guys. If you're not going to jump over, then I will be back on tomorrow morning at 10. I'll be back on tomorrow morning at 10, guys. And I'll be triple streaming. We're on YouTube, TikTok, and X. And apart from that, ladies and gentlemen, the crux of this live stream has been, I believe, do you know why, guys? It's not even that me believes it. Can anyone argue with me that civil war has not started in the United Kingdom? I believe civil war started in the United Kingdom. The UK streets have erupted. I don't think we've seen the end of this. I think this is just the beginning. There's plenty more to come. I'll be closing you guys down now, and I'll see you on YouTube or in the morning at 10. And we're off. But we're still streaming on YouTube because you guys are fantastic on YouTube. Right. Let me jump over, guys. Let me get a glass. Let me get a glass, and I'll come back. Oh, hang on. Right, Donna, I'm going to come on. Oh, Emma's found it. Right, hang on. Right, guys, so much stuff happening. Right. Donna, let me get a glass. Let me get a glass of the Raven stuff, and I'll come back. Come on, guys. Look at that. Ravens Reserve. Can you see that? Ravens Reserve. And then on the back, oh, look at that. Picture of a raven and some grapes. Of course I have my own wine. Don't you have your own wine? I've got to be careful with this, guys, because I did my first spirit run today, and I made some whiskey. Oh, God. Oh, God, I can smell it. And I put a little bit of the whiskey in here, pure whiskey. So this is going to be absolutely... Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't think I can drink that. I think I've just ruined it. I thought I'd make port, but I've not. I've just made, like... I don't even know what that is. Yeah. I'm going to put that down for now. Right. Right, let me get this, guys. Costa del Sol tourist boat explosion. Let me get this, guys. Give me a second. Yeah, that's not getting drank, guys. That's not getting drank. That would I'll be dancing and everything, guys. I'll be dancing to ABBA and everything. Eight injured after huge explosion on 25 minutes ago, guys. Okay. Spain blast. I'm getting this in real time, guys. This is from like 28. What did we say? Couple of minutes ago. Spain blast. 8 injured after huge explosion on tourist boat in the Costa del Sol resort. Oh God, there's images of it. Hang on. Oh no, there's not. The boat blew up as it was leaving the marina in Fuengirola. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't think this is terror related, guys. I just think this is like a boat blowing up. Video footage shows smoke boiling from the. Yeah, yeah. My filters. It's not big enough. It's not big enough really to do any harm. It's a relatively small boat. Yeah, I don't see any skullduggery geopolitical posturing in that. Amir Cricket is saying, "Sir, Keir Starmer, do you remember the country hang on its leader's neck?" I think what Amir's saying there is, does Keir Starmer actually remember or know or understand the country that he was elected to serve? I mean, I would say it's difficult, guys. It's difficult. Like, I don't know if I'm being, I don't know if I'm just trying to like see things that are not there. I really can't see someone being this incompetent of their own accord. I mean, I think, what's his name? Les Andrews, or is it Lee Andrews? Is it Lee Andrews? Lee Anderson? Lee Anderson. Lee Anderson. Sorry, I was in the military with somebody called, I think, yeah, sorry. Lee Anderson. He said the other day, like a while back, he said he would rather have a monkey in charge of the country, because at least the monkey, by luck, might make the right decisions. So when somebody comes up to Keir Starmer and they say, right, Keir, there's 4 envelopes here, each one's a different decision, you need to pick one, mate. At least the monkey, by luck, would hit the right one. By luck, sheer luck. So it's very difficult to think, like, you know, it's just, it can't be this bad without being a design. You see where I'm going, guys? It can't be this bad. Look at David Lammy the other day. David Lammy the other day, he was on the, he went up to Manchester, and he was being absolutely heckled unbelievably off stage. Like, really bad, really bad. It was actually difficult. If I'd have been there as David Lammy's advisor, I'd have said, yeah, Dave, mate, you can't go up there, mate. They don't want you there. The optics of you giving a speech while these people are shouting, we don't want you here. Go to Palestine. You're not welcome. That's not a good look, is it? So if I was there as like his chaperone, I'd have said to him, Dave, mate, you need to calm down. This is not for you. We need to go. But the fact that that's not happening says to me 2 things. 2 things. That's 4. That's 2. 1, he doesn't have someone by his side that's making him make the right decisions, which is terrifying. Because remember, guys, okay, David Lammy is only 1 Ukrainian rent boy away from becoming prime minister. And 2, David Lammy, and I know I spoke about this yesterday, David Lammy cannot read the room. And as a politician, that is diabolical. When you go to these meetings, can you imagine it now? Let's just imagine, for example, we're in World War III. And David Lammy's there, and there's the Russian delegation, there's the Estonian delegation. There's all these warlords and really tough men. Yes, we destroy Russian tank with drone. Yes, we destroy Russian tank with artillery. Then David Lammy, I'm a black man. All right, David, well done. What I'm getting at here is, you know, he needs to be, like, as a politician, you need to be able to read the room. Looking across the right, when somebody says something, who does he look at when he says that? And how do they react? What are those interpersonal relationships? And you can't, you know, you only get this through experience, and I don't think he has that. So Keir Starmer's just commented, David Lammy is an intelligent man and a good friend of mine. Well, listen, Keir, mate, you know, I'm not taking that away from you, but I'm happy for you. Donna Hogan is coming some breaking news. Breaking news. Sean, Keir Starmer is in your comment section. I hope it is. Listen, I hope it is Keir Starmer in his comment section. And then Donna Hogan is saying, finally, he started to listen. Look, guys, you know, the tropes of this channel have been the same since day one. You know, I don't want to go into the, like, I don't want to go into the weeds right now. But I don't know how anyone can say that Britain is not in a civil war. Just because nobody on the BBC jumped up and said, we are in, I don't think that'll ever happen. Look at what's happening on the streets, guys. It is war. It's war on so many different, you know, it's war on so many different fronts. Oh, Emma Green is saying the police have now made 493 arrests. 493 arrests as pro-Palestine hate marchers go ahead despite attack. Dozens of police officers have been seen lined up next to I forgot how to read. Lined up next to Nelson's column. That seemed to be a tongue twister when it shouldn't have been. Look, guys, you know, I think Emma's comment there encapsulates everything. Respect, dignity, honor, pride. Many great things can be described in a single word. I think Winston Churchill said that. In fact, he did. And I don't feel that these pro-Palestinian liberals, you know, I don't feel they have that faculty. And what we're seeing right now on the streets of the United Kingdom is just that, guys. You know, it really is just that. I do believe civil war's here. Just because nobody said it officially doesn't mean it's not here, guys. You know, these things will grow. There'll be more incidents. I mean, look, guys, come on, let's be real. This guy's name who attacked the synagogue, his name was Jihad. I mean, should he not just be on a watch list because his name was Jihad? Yeah, Steph, hang on. Steph, exactly. I can't, yeah, Steph, exactly. Can you imagine if this happened, you know, back when other groups were a thing? It would, you know, it's unbelievable. And it comes back to that word tolerant. I'm sick of being tolerant. I don't want to be tolerant anymore. Amir is saying, Raven, either civil war is here or tomorrow, the black walkers will march on you. Yeah, I think that brings us back to like that that comment that Elon Musk said. Now, Elon Musk said this, not me, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to get Lucy Conley. If anyone wants to arrest anyone, go and arrest Elon Musk. Right? Not me. I'm just repeating what he said. You know, Elon Musk said, violence will be upon you. What did he say? Violence will be upon you. You either fight or die. Do you know what, guys? I think I'm going to leave the chat here now, guys. I think that's a good time to leave this, guys. I really do. It is chaos right now in the United Kingdom. It is crazy. It's chaos. It's insane what is happening on the United Kingdom. Every 12 hours, there's a new headline. As Emma had, you know, Emma, where is she? Let me find Emma's comment again. Where's Emma's comment? Maybe I've missed that. Emma, can you put that comment again? Right, right. Emma put a comment saying, I think it was Emma. I may be totally wrong there. Hang on. Guys, you guys are commenting so much. Right, I've totally missed Emma's comment. Where's Emma's comments gone? I don't know. Emma's comment's gone. Emma did comment, I think it was Emma, saying that 400 and I want to find this comment, saying that 490 was it 493 or 494 I will find this. Has it been deleted? Has it been deleted, that comment? Oh, it's above that. Hang on. Oh, there we are. Sorry. Find it in the end, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to leave on this, guys. You know, at the start of this live stream, I said 442 arrests so far. Emma's now saying that the police make 493 arrests. So you can imagine now, can't you? Put that proportionally, percentage-wise. You cannot deny what's happening. I can't wait to hear Sadiq Khan come out and say that he felt intimidated and there's no place for this on the streets of Britain. Do you think that's going to happen? Do you think that's going to happen? Look, guys, we're in a civil war right now. I don't feel anyone can deny that. You know, the streets of the United Kingdom have erupted. It does seem like like the British taxpayers are funding their own enemy. You know, we've become shackled to our own demise. But ladies and gentlemen, listen, guys, it's a Saturday night. I'm going to leave you guys with that. I am going to close this down now. I'll be back on tomorrow morning at 10, I think. Will I be on at 10? Yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow morning at 10, guys. If you've not done so already, can you please like, follow, subscribe, bell notification, all those things that help this channel out, guys. I really do appreciate each and every one of your fine fingers. And I'll be quite honest, guys, I'm a grandmaster at chess now. Nobody else knows what they're talking about. I hit these things out of the bag all the time, guys, all right? I give you guys real-time analysis, real-time speculation, real-time perspective on what's happening. I give you guys that type of granular analysis. You're just not going to get anywhere else, guys. You're really not, especially when we're talking about wars, bombs, planes, trains, automobiles, geopolitical movements, interpersonal relationships between leaders. This is all relevant right now. It's all relevant as we move forwards into this new world order or whatever it is. But listen, guys, I'm going to close this down now. I'll be back on tomorrow morning at 10. Like I said, if you've not done so already, hit those buttons. And thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight, guys. It's been a pleasure.